Well, I'm certainly feeling less confident than I did at the end of the last video. And if you just looked at the numbers, you might think, well, why, right? I was in 58 at the end of last cycle, and I'm on 65 at the end of this. So I've gained 7 stars across the cycle, despite essentially fighting almost everybody. I'm not fighting Pretty Kitty, um, which we'll come back to. And so you think, well, it's doing pretty well. Like Peculiar is dying, Case is dying, right? You know, pushing there, holding another border. Everything's fine, right? Everything's not fine. So at the start of this cycle, right, I've got a minor numerical advantage on this border. I'm gaining some sniping stars here, killing a few different things as we go, right? There's not too much here. There's not too much here, right? This is all fine. There's really not a lot here. I've just lost CC. No, I haven't taken C. I haven't even taken CC at the start of the cycle. So, right, so I'm pushing in here, pushing in hard here, right? And it seems okay. This is currently a stalemate, although there are a lot of ships here, right? And as I think, yeah, exactly that, right? As the cycle starts, we get a saboteur here. So my buddy Wamata is not in the best of state. And I did say I'd help him. I've really struggled because I'm fighting 3 players. I think their combined stars must be nearly double mine, at least at their peak. Um, Cygnus is helping, and I discover that Cygnus is almost as big as me. He's just coming up to 60. He's probably over 60 by the end of the cycle. In fact, he's probably caught up with me, or close to it. Um, and I've also enlisted the aid of Soda Water, who's coming through. So again, you'd think I'd be in a good place. Well, we'll start with one problem, which is that I think my ally Wamata, this orange dude here, I think he's inactive. Right? This is the last action I see him ever take. And since then, he's just kind of done nothing. No reactions at all. Right? That looks like a player who's about to AFK. Not good. I'm not fighting Pretty Kitty. I've never attacked them. I've been at peace with them. But my options are basically going to be make peace with them and convince them to attack slow and steady, or fight literally everybody in the game who combined probably would have at that point, especially if I don't take some of Wamata's stars if they are AFK, at that point they would probably have combined 3 times my stars. I'm good. I'm not that good. So I don't want that to happen. I've sent Wamata messages like, "Are you there?" Right, right. I think the answer is going to AFK, and so I'm now thinking, okay, well, I've got a plan for damage control by taking some of these stars. Right, not great. Um, on this front, things go relatively well. Right, as I say, I'm pushing forward. You know, he's moving some stuff down to the wormhole. I managed to get these stars. He does then kind of move around a little bit, gets a bit of a counter, so I'll go up here as well. Right, he's losing in the north as well. Right, I do a bit of a shuffle with my buddy. He's giving me these 40 here. He can't quite get there in time, so I'm gonna defend for him. That's gifted. That's gifted. Right, so we're both. I'm defending for him, and I did lose. Why did I miscount? Should have. Whatever. I miscounted. I should have killed 10 more. Oh well. Oh, I didn't account for the build up properly. That was dumb. Anyway, this will be contained, right? He just took back a star that I had. I'm not really that fussed about it. And like I just took it this tick, so it's not this cycle. And so this border is going relatively well, right? Okay, cut that off. This is not really going to be reinforcing. This will fall. Fantastic, and that's a gated route south. This battle is going relatively well. Wonder why I'm feeling a bit pessimistic now, apart from the Wamata thing, right? So again, some some actions going on here at the start. Right, this ship here is nothing really. This was an automated collection. I'm pretty sure that just kind of come through. This is another person that looks like they're AFK. I take Aaron. I take Kalfa. I take Lift Thrasir. Right, the north is going to open. I wish I had moved a bit faster than I did. Could I have moved faster than I did? Oh, I couldn't have. Yeah, I could have moved here. I should have moved on Kobu at this point, especially because he seems to be asleep. Um, oh, that's taken off. Have I? No, I want to land the tick after. Excellent. All right. Uh, I mean, I'll probably. So that's an automatic collection. Ha! Excellent. Sorry. So what I've realised is that this is taking ships off here. So if I land a tick after that's gone, that's landed, then I'll take it more or less uncontested, which is good. Uh, then I can leave a few more ships here. This is a bit of a risk, but fuck it. I need to play risky because at the end of the day, is that making it? It's not making it. What do I need to defend against that? 67. Uh, so 70 something. Bit of a risk, assuming he's not getting weapons, especially when they're in sight. He's looking at it. He's not going to do that. So let's assume he gets his weapons. So I need something, what, 90? Sorry, 91, 85, 4 ticks. So I get 3, so 4.5. I haven't worked this one out. Okay, so bonus ship and 2 ticks, so I get 5 ships. All right, let's try this. Fingers crossed. Wish me luck. Anyway, right, so that interlude aside, right, as you can see, things are going mostly well here. There's a lot of ships built up here. Right, this is pretty much open. I do have ships behind. I've just gated Electra, but he does also have 400, 500 ships in this region, which is more than I've got. All right. And as you can probably see, I don't have too much coming up the chain. Um, so where the hell are my explorers gone? I'm going to come back to explorers in a second. So this is still mostly going my way. This is probably going to be another bog 'em down. And I am, of course, sitting on 10 tokens, which gives me a lot of flexibility for defense. Um, this is not going my way. We have 1,500 plus these, plus an LT there, 1,700 plus 500 from the other guy. So about 2,000 ships here. Now, bear in mind, that's my total ship count. That's what Slow and Steady alone has on the border with me. That's what Peculiar has on the border with me. So 1,000. So just on my border, they have well over 1,000 more than my ship count. Plus, potentially, I've got Pretty Kitty, who's got almost as many ships as me. Um, this is the problem of having been fighting the whole bloody game, that I have definitely lost more ships than other people. Now, Soda Water has arrived with 600 ships in the nick of time, but he's not exactly been hasty to get here, and he doesn't exactly have a lot more coming up. Bear in mind that it's like 12 ticks from the wormhole to there. If Wimata is inactive, my only hope is to make peace with Pretty Kitty, if I'm honest. Like, there's just no way I can fight this war and this war at the same time. So I am going to reach out soon if Umata doesn't respond in the next kind of 6 hours or so, because I've kind of given him, I gave him weapons last thing, and didn't pay it back, and I gave it to him kind of midway through the cycle, bearing in mind that this is a 2 hour ticks, so well, I can look at my chat with him. It's easier, isn't it? Uh, Look, I asked him this 30 hours ago, day and a half ago. Sent him this. Yeah, so like I'm pretty sure he's AFK. So these 145 that we're going to go here, or we're maybe going to go attack Pretty Kitty. Then I've now got to think about, okay, well, how do I damage control over here, right? If I don't send 145 there, where the hell am I going to get the ships I need to deal with this giant content here? I'm basically going to have to suffer losing a few things, hopefully getting some stuff up here, and then if this can muster soon, put an ML South will help. This cycle, I just built industry. We're at the point where my science lead is no longer very useful. But this is my last weapons tech. At my current science, which is pretty high, it takes a week almost to research weapons. The game's over before then. So I'm switching to manufacturing after this, which I can power through pretty quickly. I just need more ships in the short version. I just don't have enough. So I have to survive long enough to get enough ships. Now I think now Cygnus is this means that if my team, I don't love my chances of winning anymore. If my team is going to win, it'll probably be Cygnus. I think the team will win unless Slow and Steady is like at 80 ships, 80 stars, which he could be, judging by the number of ships he has. And I take these, and then he takes them back, and then he gets to his 100. If he does, I'll be impressed. I might use that in my argument to Pretty Kitty to say, look, if we fight, Slow and Steady will win before you get anywhere. Um, and that means that likely I'm going to, well, whatever it is, I'm going to be the one taking the brunt of any assault from Slow and Steady, right? I'm the one who's got a broad border there. And this is coming at me. Let's just face it. There's no two ways about it. So my allies Cygnus and Slow to Water are currently very slow to help. This ally, when Mata is AFK and probably going to die to Pretty Kitty, even if he wasn't, without support. And so really, I think the chances of me winning are pretty slim, unless, for instance, I take 20 stars from Mata and 20 stars, and kind of 10 stars from here, and then I just need to take 10 stars from somewhere before I lose. All of my tokens, every single one, is going to go to defending this border with everything I can. It's going to be tricky because he's been sapping, right? If we go back across this, right, he's been sapping. And at first I was pretty relaxed by the sapping because I thought I had a numeric advantage, and then he just keeps rocking up with it. My one saving grace is that he does not understand the value of speed specs. He's basically using them to ferry ships to the border, right? This 1,000 on his smuggler, given he's got ships behind it, he could have fucked me up so badly with that, right? Gone this way with 1,000 on the smuggler. I don't know what I would have done, to be perfectly blunt. Like I don't think I could have dealt with it. Right? He could have taken 10 stars at least, or 6 stars before I'd been able to react. I just don't have the ships to deal with it. But he didn't, right? He's using the smuggler just for ferrying, which I think is a supreme waste. But what hasn't been a supreme waste, and I do want to praise the explorers here, right? These explorers, who I've named Marco and Polo, have been really useful, right? I got them for the initial. Do I really want to go there? No, I want to go. Ah, cool. 120 ships. That's why it's there. These 120 ships aren't going to my crew. They are going to this way. And I'll work out where. Anyway, the explorers I've used, here's my other one, right, have been incredibly useful for getting ships to the front quickly, right? They were initially bought to get stars, but the extra range allowed me to, like this jump here, I can't do with normal range, right? And so they're shaving off like 10 ticks sometimes of getting ships from a collection point to the front. And especially because I don't know where I need to go because I've got one, two, three, four, potentially five borders. I've got no idea where I need to send my ships. Six if I go to count this one, right? This was a plan. So that means that the Explorer has been incredibly useful for me to be able to not have supply lines, right? These collect to a point, and I can just jump the Explorer between them or send them if they're closer to the front. And I think that early investment in Explorers, yes, it was great. It could probably capture me an extra 4 stars, which mattered a lot. But then having them throughout the game to kind of plug supply lines and skip over, join up natural gates or join up routes that wouldn't other people have joined up has been absolutely fantastic. So I've seen Raiders used for the initial Explorer expansion, which they're faster and I can see why people would use them. They're also more expensive, but now these two Explorers um, have been worth their weight in gold and definitely worth the 6 tokens it cost me early on. So Explorer starts, I think I'm going to keep doing as part of my options. All in all, right, the landscape remains more or less the same. Wrap up this and get these stars working for me before slow and steady kicks my ass, which is where that's looking ahead. Now try and get some kind of peaceful accord here with Marta, with Marta dying and Pretty Kitty eating the stars, and being like, okay, like what's up, right? I need to use the slow and steady card and say, look, he is massive and at risk of winning if you hit me. So that's going to be my angle, which I think is true, to be fair, right? I think that if Pretty Kitty attacks me in the back, slow and steady will win the game before Pretty Kitty gets anywhere near to it. Cool. Wish me luck. This will be a interesting and probably game determining cycle.